Okay, so this course that we're reviewing today is Patuxent Greens in Laurel, Maryland, which is just off of, I think it's Laurel Bowie Road that connects the, Baltimore Washington Parkway to Route 198, and it's just to the southeast of Laurel Town Center on Cherry Hill Road in Laurel. And this is a course that I've played off and on for a number of years. It is fairly convenient to where I've lived for the past 20 years or so. So I've played it a few times. But the real problem I have with this course, there's something wrong with the management. It's like that guy who was on Living Color who just played this really stupid guy who was just a little off, just a little bit off, a little bit just dense. The management is almost, every time I play there, I deal with this management, in some way or some form. They're just doing something which is just kind of stupid. The last time I played before then, I had this outrageous amount of greenskeeper fouling on the backside that not just me, but a bunch of other people were dealing with. We were all held up in the back in the middle of the afternoon, 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, on the backside, starting from, say, I think it was a 15th hole, and everyone was just sitting and sitting. I mean, we're all sitting and sitting and sitting and watching and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And it turns out that there was a guy doing greenskeeper maintenance on the 18th green, on the green for 2 hours as he watered and rolled and blew and raked the sand and all this kind of stuff in the middle of play. People were literally having to wait for him to move out of the way so they could hit onto the greens. And it was a ridiculous holdup. I went up there, and when I played it, I was with somebody else, and when I played, I'm like going, dude, get off the green so we can play. And he's sitting there looking back at us and going, come on, hit in. Not like you're gonna matter anyway. You're still gonna suck. He was saying literally something obnoxious, kind of bullshit. So after I got through with that green, I went and complained to the manager. I wanted to get a refund for my entire. I was just so pissed. I wanted to get a refund for the entire round, and they looked at me literally and said, "We'll give you a refund for one hole. For one hole." They were going to refund me a $50 greens fee divided by 18 for one freaking hole because this guy had just blown my fucking top with his bullshit on the green. And the problem really was the course management. This is one of the first times when I first kind of realized what was going on with greenskeeper fouling. A lot of the times it's because the course management is making them do greenskeeper maintenance during play. And it's like the guy said, I think you're getting a great deal to play this course at this time of the day for $30 or whatever it is that you got, for whatever the rate is. You shouldn't complain. The course is going to be in great shape, for you to come out here and play. And it's like with that mentality, people are not quite understanding that it doesn't matter if the course is in great shape if it sucks because it's obstructed by some douchebag greenskeeper. And I think that kind of talked me out of playing that course for a while, for a number of years. But in the interest of completeness, I didn't want to just outright skip the course. So I figured I'd go ahead and play it early this year and get it out of the way so I wouldn't have to worry about it. So sure enough, I go down, play the course Saturday. It's been raining off and on all morning, kind of like, stormy clouds, not too cold, but stormy, windy. And I'm like, well, man, I don't even know if this is going to work out. So I went on Golf Now, got a tee time for it. It was like $35 to play it at noon. Went down to play the course. Got down there and remembered that I had forgotten to take my wallet out of my other car and have it in this car. So I got out of the car, touched my pants, boom, knew I had forgot my wallet. Walked in there, said, I'm sorry, I'm early. I'm half an hour early for my tee time, and everything's perfect except for the fact I left my wallet. And unfortunately, it was one of those times when they didn't charge me the full price. So Golf Now used to charge full price. It would charge you the the rate for the course and then pay the course management. Now they just charge you the service charge of like $2 or $3, and then they let you pay the full price at the course. So anyway, so unfortunately it wasn't one of those. I went in and I said, look, you know, I forgot my wallet. I got to go back and get my wallet. Would you push me back an hour? You know, and the guy said, okay, no problem. Looked at the computer and, you know, said fine. And then I said, okay. And I'm assuming that he's pushing me back an hour to an open tee time, okay? Not just pushing me back an hour into the middle of two foursomes that were on the tee box. And there's a reason for that, but this is I'm gonna get to it in a minute. So I come back, I walk in, he's saying, the first thing he says is, you shouldn't use golf now anyway, just book it with us directly. It's cheaper. We don't charge you the fees. We charge you the same tee time, and you can save $2 or $3 here and there on your round because you're not paying either the fees or you're paying the same price. And I was like, okay, great. That's a great idea. Can I go ahead and play now that I've done driving down here twice and just wasn't worried about it too much, went out and played. And I'm assuming that I could go down, check in with the starter, and I would have a tee time at that time. I get there, lo and behold, what happens? I'm in the middle of a group of foursomes. There's a tournament going on, all this kind of stuff. There's no open tee time. So the guy's like saying, I don't even know when I can get you off. It may be a trouble or something to get you off. Luckily, there was a break, and I was able to play with these two guys, and we had a good round. They were pretty good. And I wasn't really playing well, and the course made my day a nightmare as I lost about 10 balls in this course. As you can see, and you've seen in this course, you may not have seen it outright because there's a lot of foliage, but there's a lot of water on this course, and it's not that wide open. It's one of those tighter woods courses. While it is flat, it isn't wide open. And you can see that if you're spinning the ball or hooking the ball or something, you're not hitting straight, it can be a bit of a problem. And for me, it was. It's one of the courses where I learned to play. And when I used to not hit the ball straight, when I was starting, it was a ball-hungry course. And it was a ball-hungry course for me again this time. It wasn't long, even from the blue tees. It's not a long course. It's an intermediate length course, but it does eat balls a lot if you don't hit the ball straight. So I think I'm running out of time here. So let me just get to the point. The course was in good condition. It was a little bit soggy, a little bit soft, but it dried out nicely during the day. It was really nice weather that day. The breeze calmed down and everything. And we got like a window between storms in the morning and storms in the late afternoon. It was really nice. The clubhouse has decent food. Decent hot dogs, not really great, but decent. Nice, beer and everything. It wasn't expensive. And, you've got the electric carts and everything. It's nice. A nice walk in the park. The only thing I would say that's bad about this course is it can be flat. There's virtually no elevation on the course except for maybe the number 16 green and the number 10 green. There's some elevation there. I really don't like the first hole because it tends to disappear into the background when you're looking at the houses as you approach the green. But today the lighting was good and it wasn't as a problem as it has been in past rounds. That the tee box on number 10 bordering the lake, that lake does eat shots if you're not hitting the ball clean. But I think overall this course is a decent player's course. It's a decent challenge. The greens were really spongy and long and had almost a corduroy feel to them where you could see they'd been aerated and the aeration part had grown up above the rest of the green and it had that corduroy line to it. It was really not a great putting green, but it was okay. I would say it was a 6 or 7 in terms of putting. You could make some long putts if you got lucky. And the breaks weren't all that bad. I mean, it just wasn't awful, but it wasn't great. It was sort of in the middle. I'd have to give the course, as it played, a C+, B minus. That's Patuxent Greens in Laurel, Maryland.